welcome to this week's equipment class. For today's class, you're just going to need a mat, a headrest, and then a circle or cushion, a circular resistance band, and then 2 light weights just to make a few exercises harder, and then a roller or a small ball for the bridges. And then lastly, if you have a long band as well, we'll just do a few upper body exercises with this. If you don't have a long band, if you have one that's tied into a loop, we'll be doing that after the ones with the looped band. So you can just untie the looped band for that if you're able to. So we'll get started with the warm-up. We'll start off on our hands and knees. Starting off by dropping the ribcage down, arching the back, looking up in front. And then rounding out the spine, looking down between the knees. Dropping the ribcage down, arching the back, looking up in front. And rounding out the spine, looking down between the knees. Again, dropping the ribcage down, arching the back and looking up. And once more, rounding out the spine, looking down between the knees. And then coming to a neutral flat back position, twist the left foot out to the side, looking to the left, and back to the center. Twist the right foot out to the side, looking to the right, and back, and then the left foot. So make sure the knee stays in contact, so just the foot is tapping. And the right foot, this is good for stretching out the hip joint. Good, and then one more on the right, and back together. And then we'll engage the core, so tuck the hips under slightly, and then we'll straighten out the right leg and the left arm. So make sure the back is nice and flat. You're drawing your belly button in towards your spine. And then small circles with the arm and leg, trying to keep the back nice and flat, keeping the body still. And lower down. Left leg, right arm. Again, tucking the hips under and then drawing your belly button towards the spine. Small circles with the arm and leg. And lower down. Shifting all the way over to the left, straighten out the right leg and the right arm. Once you have your balance, try to get the hips parallel to the mat, and then small circles with the arm and leg, or just focus on your balance here. And lower, shifting to the right side, straighten out the left leg and the left arm. Again, focusing on the balance first, and then small circles. And lower down. Dig the toes underneath, pinch your shoulders back, lift the knees up, and we'll hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower down. Dig the toes in, pinch shoulders back, lift the knees up, lift up the right hand, and the left, and the right, left, right, left. One more on the right, last one on the left, and lower. And then we'll dig the toes in, pinch the shoulders back, lift the knees up, lift up the right foot and the left foot. Right foot, left foot, right foot, left. One more on the right, last one on the left, and lower down. And then we'll just finish off with a little bit of spinal and shoulder mobility work. So we're going to take the left hand, scoop it down towards the right hip, reach nice and long, opening up, twisting out, getting some rotation through the thoracic spine. Sweeping down to the right hip, opening up, getting a nice twist. We'll do 3 more. Opening up. You should feel a nice stretch behind the shoulder blade as you reach towards your right hip. And then a nice stretch in the mid-back as you open out. 1 more. And back to the center. Now we'll do 5 on the right side. So sweeping that right hand towards the left hip. Really reaching through, opening up and out, reaching across. This is a really nice exercise to do if you get a stiff mid-back from sitting at a desk or just in general. Good, we have 2 more. And last one. And back to the center. And then we'll come onto our back and start off with some toe taps. So we'll imprint the spine, bringing the legs into tabletop one at a time. Keeping the spine imprinted, tapping the right foot down first, and then the left. So really soft taps here. So make sure that you're not leaving the foot down. The most common mistake I see with this one is people tap like this and leave their foot down. So just try to do a really soft tap and also keeping that spine imprinted. So really forcing that low back down. You could even check yourself and make sure it's pressed down. And then we'll try to reach a bit further away. You can tap the heels down if you want to make it a bit harder. And then we'll squeeze the legs together, tap both feet down, and back into tabletop. So nice soft taps. And two more. Last one. And resting the feet down. Then we'll imprint the spine, lift the hips up, squeezing the glutes, and then slowly rolling down vertebrae by vertebrae. Imprinting the spine, lifting up, lowering down, nice and slow. Just warming up the glutes and everything before we move on to some of the harder bridges. Good, 3 more. 2 more. Last one, keep the hips up, bring the right leg into tabletop and lower, and then the left leg. Keep the hips up nice and high. So it's just a combination between the glute bridge and the toe taps that we started with. Don't let the hips drop. Good. 3, 2, and 1. Lower down. Then we'll grab the band and we'll bring the feet through the band. Bring it up just to above the knees. And then we'll imprint the spine, bring the legs in the tabletop, pull the legs apart nice and wide, keeping the shins parallel and back together. And apart and together. Apart nice and wide, back together. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Back together, straighten the legs up as best you can. If you have some tight hamstrings, you can keep a slight bend in the knee. Pull the legs apart and together. Keeping the shoulders relaxed, spine's imprinted. If you want to make this easier, you could just bend the knees a bit. Otherwise, try to keep them straight. For 3, 2, 1, back together, right leg out to the side, back together, left leg. Good, right, left. Try to keep the opposite leg as still as possible. Right side, left, right, one more on the left, and bend the knees. And then for the next few, if you grab a roller or a small ball, we'll just be doing a couple bridges. If you don't have either of those, that's fine. Just leave the feet down flat on the mat. So start with the arms down by your side, imprint the spine, lift the hips up, keeping tension in the band the whole time. Imprint, lifting up, and lower, imprint and lift, and lower down, imprint and lift, and lower, lift, and lower. We have 3 more, 2, and last one. And then we'll bring the elbows on the mat, hands on the rib cage, imprint the spine, lift the hips up, and lowering down, imprint and lift, and lower, lift, and lower, lift, and lower, and 2 more, and lower, last one, and lower. Good. And then we'll cross the arms across the chest, shoulders are relaxed. Imprint the spine, lifting the hips up, and lower down. Imprint and lift, and lower, imprint and lift, and lower, imprint and lift, and lower, keep the hips up nice and high. Bring the right leg out to the side and then the left leg. Right leg, left leg, right leg, left leg, right, left, right, left. One more on the right, one more on the left. Keep the hips up. Both legs are up and both legs together. Both legs apart, together, apart, together. Squeeze the glutes nice and tight. Don't let the hips drop. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower down. Then we'll put the roller out of the way for now. Keeping the band on for the next few. We'll imprint the spine. Straighten up the right leg. Keeping the left leg as still as possible. If you want to make this harder, lift the hips up. Otherwise, keep the hips down on the mat. I'm going to lift the hips up for this one, so whichever you prefer. If you're lifting the hips up, we'll imprint the spine and then lift the hips up. Right leg out to the side and together. Out to the side together. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Bend the right leg, rest the hips down. And then straighten up the left leg if you want to keep the hips down. Otherwise, imprinting and lifting up. Left leg out to the side and together. Out to the side together. For 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Bending the leg, resting the hips down. And then we'll imprint the spine. Legs in the tabletop. Bring the band down around the ankles. Keeping the shins in parallel, keeping the legs at tabletop. Pull the legs apart and back together. Apart, together. Good. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Keep tension in the band. Tap both feet down, back into tabletop. Down and back up. The further you extend, the harder it is. So whichever you prefer here. For 3, 2, 1, back to tabletop. Straighten the legs up. Pull the legs apart and back together. Apart, together. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Bend the knees, rest the feet down. Imprint the spine, lifting the legs to tabletop, straightening the legs up, keeping tension. Lower the legs down and lift back up. Lower and lift, lower and lift. 5 more. 4, 3, keep tension in the band. And last one. And bend the knees. We'll put the band to the side. Give the legs a quick rest. And then next we'll be doing the circle. So either a circle or cushion, whichever you have. We'll start off with a nice easy one. So we'll imprint the spine, circles just above the knees. Keep the spine imprinted. Squeeze nice and tight, and then bring the legs apart. So if you don't have a circle, try to find a nice big cushion so you can get a bit of resistance as you squeeze. Good. Keep that spine imprinted. Squeeze and relax. Squeeze and relax. 4, 3, 2. Keep the circle squeezed. Right leg out to the side. Back together. Left leg. Back in. Right leg. Left leg. Right leg. Left leg. Right. Left. One more on the right. Last one on the left. And grab the circle. Then we'll imprint the spine, legs to tabletop, circle just above the knees. Squeeze the circle nice and tight and relax. Squeeze and relax for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then slowly relax for 1, 2, 3, squeeze. 1, 2, 3, squeeze. 1, 2, 3, squeeze. Good. 1, 2, 3, squeeze. 1, 2, 3, squeeze. Good. So a slow relax and a quick squeeze. We have 4 more. Squeeze. 3. Squeeze. 1, 2, 3, squeeze. Last 1, 2, 3, squeeze. Grab the circle, rest the feet down. Then we'll grab that roller or ball again for just a couple of bridges. Circle or cushion above the knees. Squeeze nice and tight. Elbows on the mat, hands on the rib cage. If you want to make it easier, bring the hands down. Imprint the spine, lift the hips up, and lower down. Keep the circle squeezed. Imprint and lift, and lower. 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 Good. Imprint and lift, and lower. 3 more, and lower. 2, and lower. Last one. Keep the hips up nice and high. Bring the right leg out to the side, left leg. Right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. Last one on the right, last one on the left. Lower down. Good. For the next one, grab 2 small weights if you have them. And then we'll put the circle back above the knees. We're just going to hold the arms directly above the shoulders. Squeeze the circle nice and tight. Imprint the spine, lift the hips up, and lower back down. So as you lift up, keep the circle squeezed and keep pinching the shoulders back. So we're just activating those postural muscles in the back of the shoulder blades. Good. And try to have a straight line going from your hand down to your shoulder. So hands should just be right above the shoulders. Make sure they're not up here or reaching back. Good. 3 more. 2. And last one. Keep the hips up. Squeeze and relax, squeeze and relax, squeeze and relax. Good. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep the circle squeezed. Right arm goes out to the side. Back in. Left arm. Back in. Good. Alternating each side. Keep that circle squeezed. I know the legs are burning. Good. Left arm. Right arm. Left. Right. Keep the circle squeezed. 1 more on the left. 1 more on the right. And lower down. Whew. We'll put the roller to the side. Hopefully you're feeling that on the inner thighs. Then we'll just do a few more with the circle. So we'll bring the legs up into tabletop. Circle goes between the ankles now. Keeping the spine imprinted, squeeze the circle and relax. Squeeze and relax for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Straighten the legs up, squeeze and relax. Squeeze and relax. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Grab the circle, rest the legs down. We just have 1 more here with the circle. Circle goes back above the knees for just 1 last exercise here. Squeeze the circle nice and tight. Tuck the chin to the chest, rolling forward. Start to beat the arms for in, 2, 3, 4, 5, out, 2, 4, 5, in, 2, 4, 5, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, in, 2, 4, 5, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, in, 2, 4, 5, out, 2, 3, 4, 5. Squeeze the circle nice and tight. Keep the chin rolled up. Good. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5, in, 2, 4, 5, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, in, 2, 4, 5, out, 2, 3, 4, 5. Last one. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5. Resting down, straighten the legs out. Put the circle to the side. And then we'll do a couple of roll-ups. So if you have any light weights, you can grab them, otherwise don't use any weights. Reaching the arms back. Arms forward, chin to chest, rolling up, sitting up nice and tall, shoulders are pinched. Slowly rolling down, vertebrae by vertebrae, reaching back. And then arms forward, chin to chest, rolling up. Shoulders pinched. Slowly rolling down, reaching back. And rolling up. Good, really squeezing the shoulder blades the whole time until you touch the mat. Rolling up. Good, and down, nice and slow. Good, rolling up and rolling down. And then if you want to reaching up. And then slowly rolling down. Keep the arms up as you roll down. Rolling up. And down nice and slow. We have 3 more. Rolling up. And slowly down. Rolling up. And down. And then we have 1 more here. And rolling up. Now we'll put the weights to the side. Grab a long resistance band. If you don't have one, you could just use the weights and just hold them and then squeezing back, holding the 2 light weights, just with the different variations. So we'll do hands up, palms facing up, and then we'll do palms facing down. So ideally, if you have a band, that would work best, but if you don't, just hold 2 light weights. So we'll sit up nice and tall, legs straight out in front of you, shoulders are pinched back, arms are close to the body, and then we'll pull back, squeeze the shoulder blades together, and then slowly come back to the center. Pulling back, squeeze. Good. So this is really good for the mid-back, so for your postural muscles while you're sitting. It helps to strengthen up your mid and lower traps and your rhomboids, which are all in your mid-back, which help to pull your shoulders back naturally while you're sitting so that you're not rounded sitting at the desk like this. Good, 3 more, 2, and 1. And then we'll do palms facing up. So that's gonna bring biceps in a little bit more. So pulling back, keeping the elbows close to the body still, and really pinching at the end of the movement. Nice and controlled. 4 more. 3, 2, last one here, and then we'll do the last one for the rows, palms facing down. We're gonna pull up high for this one, squeeze the shoulder blades, and then come back down. So really important here, make sure your shoulders don't pop up like this, so really pushing them down. This one's a little bit harder. Good, 5 more. 4, 2, and 1. Good, we'll put the band to the side. And then coming onto your back, we'll just do a few for the lower abdominals. Imprint the spine, legs into tabletop, straighten the legs up, small flutter kicks with the legs. Sorry, I started to do big flutter kicks there. But we'll gradually start to make them a little bit bigger. If you want to make it harder, chin to the chest, rolling forward. And the lower your kicks are, the harder it is. So as long as your spine's imprinted, you could bring the kicks down here. But if you're feeling that in the low back, keep the kicks up a bit higher. Just makes it easier to imprint. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower down. Imprint the spine, legs into tabletop, straighten the legs up, lower the legs down, and lift back up. Lower and lift. Again, if you want to make the exercise harder, chin to the chest, or if you, the further you lower down, the harder this will be. Good, we have 3 more, 2, and 1. Rest the legs down. Imprint the spine, legs to tabletop, chin to the chest, rolling forward, right hand to the outside of the right ankle, left hand to the inside of the right knee, and switch. Good, alternating each side. Nice light touches on the legs, keeping the chin rolled up to the chest. Really reaching for the ankle. If this is sore for your neck, if you can roll up like this, and it takes a bit of pressure off the neck. So whichever you prefer. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower down. Imprint the spine, legs to tabletop, hands behind the head, elbows pointing out, elbows and knees in together, knees and elbows apart. In together, apart, together, apart. 5, 4, 3, 2, and last one. And lower down. Then take your time coming onto your side. So if you want to make the next few harder, hold a weight. We're going to do a few exercises for the glutes. So if you do want to make it harder, just holding a weight straight up above your shoulder. Make sure again that it's not coming out to the side. Bending the bottom knee. Otherwise, your other option here to make this easier is just staying down on the mat. And you can, for the first one when we're lifting the hips up, you can just lift the leg up. So you'll just do an extra set of those. Otherwise, you can even straighten the leg out to make it harder again, or bending the bottom knee. So elbow under the shoulder. If you have the weight lifted straight up, lifting the hips up and lower for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Keep the hips up, lift the top leg for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Keep the hips up, straighten the arm out, elbow and knee in together, elbow and knee apart. Good for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and the last one. Lower down. And then we'll move the weight out of the way. We'll lower all the way down, lift the top leg up, lift the bottom leg to touch, and lower for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Keep the leg up, lift the top leg. Good. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Keep both legs up. Big circles in front. Good. Trying to keep that bottom leg lifted. 2 more and then we'll switch directions. Good. And switch directions. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Lower down. Bending the knee to stretch out the front of the thigh. And then we'll switch to the opposite side. So grabbing your weight, if you'd like. Bending the bottom knee to start off, holding the arm straight up in a line with the shoulder. Lifting the hips up and lower. Lift and lower, lift and lower. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Lift the top leg. 1, 2, 3. Keep the leg nice and long, so reach it away from your body. 7, 8, 9, and 10. Extending the arm and leg in together, reaching apart. Coming in together, keep the hips up nice and high if you can. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Lower down, put the weight to the side. Resting all the way down, top leg up. Lift the bottom leg to touch. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Lifting the top leg. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Big circles. Staying in front of the leg. Keeping that low back nice and flat, so make sure you're not arching your back. 7, 8, 9, 10. Switch directions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and last one. Lower down, bending the bottom knee. Stretching out the front of the thigh. And then we'll come onto our backs and just finish off with a few stretches. So right knee into the chest. Hugging the knee in nice and tight. And then right arm out to the side, pulling that right leg across into a spinal twist. Back to the center, straightening the right leg out, Hugging that left knee in. Shoulders are relaxed. Left arm out to the side, twisting that left leg across. And then bending the knees, cross the right ankle over the left knee, grabbing behind the left thigh. And then straightening up that leg to stretch the hamstring on the left while you're stretching the glutes on the right. And then switching over, right ankle over the left knee, or sorry, left ankle over the right knee. Holding that in for a moment. And then straightening up that right leg. And then bending the legs. And then we'll just come onto our stomach just to stretch out the low back. So pressing the hips into the mat, lifting up into your cobra. So again, whichever is in your practice, so either mini, if your back is a bit stiff, or full. Lower back down. We'll do that one more time. Lifting up. And then pressing the mat away, opening the knees wide, sitting back onto the heels into child's pose. Bringing the forehead to the mat. And then coming back to the center, and we will finish with that.